I'm so glad. Come on in, come on in. I'm so happy you got here just ahead of the rain, it seems like, and I've got a nice cozy spot all laid out for you. Please make yourself at home. Papa squat, as they say. Any hoosies. Yes, welcome. I thought it would be a great time to hang out since it's just a little drizzly out there today. And yeah, I don't have often visitors to my atelier. I'm not sure how to say it. I'm just not good at human words sometimes, but that's okay. Anyways, I've brought you some snacks, and I've of course made tea, so let me grab that. But anyway, how does the day greet you? Have you been doing much fun art lately? And just tell me all about your day. I can't wait to hear. Oh, that sounds fun. What a grand day indeed. Perfect way to spend a gloomy Saturday. Let me get my supplies out here. I do feel I'm a bit flustered. I'm not often having visitors, and I'm so excited to have somebody to draw with today, and I couldn't be happier that it's you, so welcome. I don't know what else to say other than if I can get you anything, please let me know. And yeah, I just thought that today with the gloomy weather it would be quite perfect for tea and some fashion design, because I don't know about you, but it just seems like working on outfits that you can wear and designing them is just, it's just so much fun for me. Today I'm wearing everything I've made myself, save for the earrings and accessories and stuff, but I don't know, it's so freeing to be able to design your own things, and yeah. So please make yourself at home and get cozy and just hang out and draw, and perhaps at the end we can compare our notes, our sketches, and yeah. All right, let me get you a better view of the page so you can actually see what's going on here. One moment, please. There we are. That seems sufficiently cozy. All right. Let us see. There we go. I will just make myself at home. Excuse all these pleat patterns I've made of late. I was working out a particular robe, and sometimes you just need to muck it up with paper, or as my dearest tells me, with muslin, and I have not quite gotten to that point yet. But soon, because I'm learning the error of my ways. Yes, so I thought today I would show you what I've been working on, and I suppose take you through just the start of a project, start to finish, I suppose, so maybe you'll actually get to see me sewing in later videos. But this current project I have is actually right up here on my mannequin right now, minus her skirts. Her skirts are not done yet. Yeah, so I've got the bodice all constructed up in the top, and I have yet to do all of the sleeves. When I tell you, oh goodness, so many pieces of fabric have gone into those sleeves. But they are rescued from thrift store curtains, so I thought that was quite a good find to see those in the store. So I was very excited for that. Let me move your snacks closer so you still may see them, and ignore this candlestick I currently have mildly glued to the table with wax. I tend to just let the wax go everywhere, and it I pay for it later by having to clean my tabletops, but all for ambience, right? Anyway, I'm so glad when she made it today, and I can't wait to get drawing. And now all of my reference is on my phone, so, well, you're currently watching me on my phone, so I will have to use my imagination. But I came across an idea this morning. It was inspired by one of Morgan Donner's videos where she makes Victorian Tripp pants. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It is just so fun. But I myself am very much a fan of like moody and alt fashion, but it has to have looked like I've just walked in from a portal, from another realm, particularly a certain realm from my books. So, you know, I can't have actual Tripp pants. I have to make them, well, we'll find out. But I have a goal, within the next, like, 5 to 10 years, I would like everything in my wardrobe to be made by me. I think currently I am at, I want to say 45%, because I do have, not a large wardrobe, but, either the things I have are things that I've made or things that I've thrifted, and then maybe another 15% of things that I've bought. But I do just love vintage pieces and some such, and making new made vintage pieces. So yeah. Anyway, I'm never quite sure what to talk about to fill the air. But anyway, on the matter of what I'm doing a sketch for today, I wanted to do some Tripp pants that are inspired by like 14th century, sort of, maybe a bit of 13th. I want to do a sort of arming belt design. So of course, you know, on the side of the pants we have a couple buckles here and there, or I think D-rings would probably be preferable, so I can hence hang my swords off of my pants, because why not? So that's the energy we're going in with today. Yeah. So, I suppose enjoy. I don't have much to talk about in way of materials, because I am a simple gal. I just like pencil or ballpoint, and that's usually my go-to. So I suppose we'll just get started, and I'll just kind of talk about what I'm going forward with the design, and yes. I have bought, I don't often wear jeans actually, but I'm making sure my head's not in this viewfinder here. It's so hard. My last video, it was all of my head. So I'm trying to learn from my ways here. I'm actually going to take my pinky ring off so it doesn't scrape marks all over my paper here. But I've learned to adjust my camera thus far. But, so I am always a fan of different levels of, how do you say, poofiness? Like if I have a lot of poof on the top portion of my outfit, I like to even it out or taper it down into the bottom. So since I have been quite an aficionado for giant sleeves of late, I suppose that I would do skinny pants, skinny Tripp pants. So I guess that's what we're starting with today. And I think I have bought my last pair of store-made jeans. They're from Old Navy. They're quite fantastic, actually. They're super high-waisted ones, which, you know, if it doesn't come up to the very top of my rib cage, it's not high-waisted enough for me. So I would like to make my own jeans, and I think this is the version of them that I would actually go forward with. Wow, I wasn't actually prepared to draw, I guess, today. This is my warm-up, so if she's a little stiff, I do apologize. I'm just kind of marking out a base here. So nothing too fanciful, I suppose. I'm just kind of giving it a blue line. And I'm trying to sort of keep in mind my own proportions. I do have a bit of shorter leg, and I always draw my characters with mile-long legs. So it's a bit of a change for me. And yeah, I know I'm a little visitor shy, so my lines are probably not the most confident right now, but I'm hoping as we both get cozy, things will just sort of, you know, work themselves out. So, anyway, without further ado, I suppose I'm just going to work on these and take you along for the ride. That foot looks slightly broken. Let's fix that. I don't know if that's much better. It should come out directly straight. There we go. Okay. My anatomy teachers are quaking at their desks. I can sense it. And without pointed toes, who would we be, really? That's another thing on my list I'd like to make this year. I got into shoemaking last summer, and I would particularly, I made some sandals. I would particularly like to get into actual shoemaking, but start off slow. I'd like to make some flats, but like a Moroccan-inspired design with a bit of a pointed and a curve to the toe, because that just sounds remarkable to me. So yes, I may do that. It seems like it would be a lot of fun to do. I'm spending way too much time on these underlines. Usually I just go right for it, but I feel like since I have company today, I should put in the extra time to make it look not so completely obtuse and unfollowable. Most of the time, all the sketches in this book are purely for me. They're quite construction heavy, and I just put notes on everything. They're pretty messy, so they're nothing too fancy with this. I would love to make this, and these, mostly PJs. That's also on my list this year, is to make lots of cozy homeware, but you know, amp it up a little bit. I think I would like to, yeah, just have more fun with my wardrobe. I find dressing like this is, I don't know, it just feels like such an extension of myself, you know. I've found kind of my niche and what looks good on my shape and whatnot, and I found that that's extremely high-waisted things and big voluminous sleeves, so that's what makes me happy, and that's what I'm gonna do. So, as you can imagine, these pants will be extremely high-waisted. Yes. But so right now I'm just kind of drawing in some lines. I would like to do center seams on these because I quite like the look of that. I hope you can't hear the enormous gale that's going on outside. I think it's even sleeting a little bit. It's cold today, so I'm glad we're both indoors and away from all of that. So, yes, I'm just thinking for a moment here. All right. So I imagine I would like to do these with, let's see, maybe, oh gosh, as my chair breaks into oblivion, sorry. I would like to do these with some straps and tassels, because who am I if I'm not wearing tassels? Yes. For tea today, we have a lovely chamomile with honey, and yeah. pretty basic, so I hope you enjoy. If you want seconds, let me know. I shall, well, I would say, just bitch the pot. I shall bitch the pot. I don't think this is going to get demonetized. Who knows? I'm not in it for the money. I'm just wanting to make nice content. So, yes. All right. Maybe I'll even take you guys like fabric shopping with me for this. I like to imagine it would be just a black twill, maybe with a little bit of stretch, but I'm not quite sure. I do like a skinny pant. I'm sorry, world. Skinny jeans are life. So yes. Although to be fair, the pants I'm wearing currently are not skinny at all. I've actually made these. They're like a tapered. I've seen them referred to as carrot pants online. I don't know how I feel about that, but I suppose that is correct. They do kind of look like the shape of carrots. They're big at the top and then they taper down. But good times, yes. I would draw these with the shoes I would wear. The boots I'd wear some combat boots with these. But yes, I like to switch between, if I'm doing modern clothing, it's usually pretty alternative. And then if I'm doing anything else, it's usually like this, like what I'm wearing now. Something I've made or something I've picked up. So I like to stick to a lot of blacks, navies, and burgundies. Those are my safe colors. But yeah. And so I'm thinking that these would have a center fly. But I also really love how the pants called like Gurkha trousers, they have the how do I describe the flap thing that goes off to the side and buttons. So I imagine I'd like to put a couple buttons here. I've also learned the hard way. I don't think I prefer inking any of my fashion sketches. I feel like it takes the life out of them. I often have that trouble, so I think I will just stick to having them be graphite for now, and if I want ink, I'll use ballpoint, because that's basically pencil in an ink form. So let's do that. And then I like to imagine they'd have a cool little seam design. I am quite fond of the I suppose the shape of stays that come forward in the front. I think it's just a nice silhouette shape. So theoretically, if you were to have an arming belt on, I suppose not an arming belt, but just a sword belt, you know, with the strap things that come down, your first rings would start about here, and then you'd have one in the lower end here. But I also like to make room for my daggers, so we are going to do a double whammy. We're going to do, let's see, so start here, and I imagine this right here is probably about navel height, and then, so it's quite, I like things to go above my natural waist. That's what I'm comfortable with. So I imagine they would start there, and then we would have, it's a good thing I brought my eraser over here, in case I want to make adjustments. I imagine they'd have one loop here, another loop here. It's a good thing I did this later in the day. If I did this in the morning, you guys would be privy to my, what I refer to as my gargoyle voice. My voice is quite deep and creaky in the morning. And I also want this to just be a calming hangout, so I'm trying my best to, I suppose, channel my inner ASMR artist. If I can help but not laugh through the entire thing. But anyway. Yeah, that's starting to look like something. And I want these to be pretty casual as far as they would look good with a great many things. And cool, my camera's still recording. Last time it cut me off after 10 minutes. So that was atrocious. But, so I'm thinking we have those on this side. And I am right-handed, so they would be on my left. For my, there's a dagger here, the sword goes there. These would be a little bit lower. Gosh, there's so many options. I just want to bedazzle the living crap out of these, but that's so tough. And I also saw some references. I'm trying to recall what I saw this morning. Someone had done leather bias tape over the top of their center seams, and I thought that is fantastic. That is ideal. So I might perchance try to do that myself. And I could even possibly do it in the guise of fake seams. I could just make regular pants and then do the leather bias over the top. I would have to use probably fake leather because I don't know how it would do stretch-wise. I have a jacket, I suppose it's more of a jumper than a jacket, because it's knitted, that I made leather ties, closure ties for. And so far it has done okay in the wash. I do a hand wash, and then I halfway dry it in the dryer on low, and then let it air dry the rest of the way. And it seems to be doing fine. I don't wear it all that often. Well, more so I don't wash it all that often because I always wear under things with my jackets. Because I like to be layered into, well, until I cannot feel the cold anymore. I live in the countryside and it's very cold out here in January and February, etc. So I do wash them when they need them. Maybe about after 2 washes or 3 washes or so. But I don't do very much arduous work when I wear those, just because it's something I'd like to be careful with, Yeah, spilling my secrets into the the realms of the YouTube. Welcome to my madness. Anyway, I'm going to eat some of these grapes because they look good, so please help yourself. I don't know if you can hear me chewing, and now I'm conscious about that, so. As I lean back and cover my mouth here. Okay. So far these aren't looking quite like Tripp hands because they don't have a whole lot of things to trip upon. Alright. And I'm not much of a fan of pockets on the side of the, inserted, or I suppose exterior pockets that are built outward on a garment. That's not my cup of tea. So I don't believe I'll be doing that. However, these do need pockets somewhere, don't they? And if these are sewn in to the sides, then that kind of occupies the pocket space. Although I could just do a one-sided pocket. It's not like I'm gonna do that because I don't ever often use both of my pockets at the same time. So let's see. For posterity's sake, there's a pocket there, and I think I'm going to continue the silhouette down of this as well. I do quite like these. I saw in some other examples they were quite ostentatious, I suppose, in their material usage. So some of them cut off at the knees or at the mid-thighs and had leather for the bottoms. And I really like that idea, although I don't know if it's good for every day for me. I think I would prefer something that's just cotton twill with a slight leather accent. Something more low-key. And yes, so now comes time for adding the Tripp pants. I've also never made pants that are this tight fitting before, so that will be quite interesting. That'll be a process that we both go through together. So yes. Alright, so I like to imagine. I suppose I have to draw a backside now so I can see what these shall look like on further inspection. The first stage is you always draw the butt. just kidding. Well, kind of. I suppose not so, but you draw the butt. This is no life drawing class, so if they are not up to thighs, I don't know, grips with what you want your butts to look like. I'm sorry. We're doing garment construction today. They don't need to be fancy. You don't need to see all of the adventure of life drawing. I don't know what I'm saying. Alright. And we don't want to... I suppose overlapping is fine, but if it's something I know I'm going to make, I do like to leave it unobstructed, just because then I can look back at my sketches and be like, wow, alright, that's kind of what I thought I was doing. And once again, if you see how long I draw my legs, these thighs are 10 times longer than they should be. But that's okay. We're making allowances for ourselves these days. Oh god. Oh, these are just dreadful. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you have to witness this. Me struggling. Perhaps as you work on your own things, you just won't see that I'm floundering at the seams to draw these legs. I've been doing a lot more studious work outside of my normal work. I work in games, for those of you that don't know. So doing I suppose technical work is not a frequent part of my day. Technical as in I'm doing studious sorts of art. Mostly they're all final pieces and that sort of thing, you know, to go with goes into the game. I mostly do sprites, so, and a little bit of everything else. But it's a sprite-based game, so I suppose it would be safe to say sprites. But once that gets further in production, I can't wait to share it with you guys because I'm very proud of the work we've done on it. It is looking fantastic, if I do say so myself. It's finally coming together, and I couldn't be more happy. And the team is great, and I think you will all love it, especially if you like fantasy-based. Just yes, you're just gonna have a ball. Okay, I'll wait to say more, but until, you know, the time comes. And I don't know if I want to do seams all the way down, because this, I imagine, would be the center of the back of the leg, so maybe not there. Center butt does need one though, because they're pants, and center seams down the butt are a common occurrence. We put some little dots here, and I suppose there would also be darts here, but these seams would cover it up. So these are more the side of the leg seams. So let me move those over a bit. Oh, I've started drawing the garment in the blue. Let me switch back over so you can see what is occurring. It's just a nice quiet day today. Maybe in future videos I'll get one of those fancy ASMR mics. I'll stick it next to my sketchbook so you guys can all have the tingles from my pencil drawing. I just love the creators that make, the historical costuming section of YouTube is always a big inspiration for me, but also just the content creators who do the, like scenario-themed ASMR. I just find that so fascinating and utterly fun, and I'm so glad that there's an avenue for it. I think part of this is just building a wardrobe that makes me happy and would also simply delight out of the bounds of imagination my child self. I think I would want I think that if we looked through my closet together, we would have the grandest time. She would also be asking me if I have a dragon, because clearly these are well suited for dragon riders, especially if I do leather on these inside legs here. Yep. And who knows, maybe I do have a plethora of elf ears, so it's not far out of the bounds of reality to assume that one has a dragon. That would be the best, actually. Let's see. Alright, I'm just trying to remember how my actual pants are constructed. So they'd have inner leg seams. So I'm imagining these would have a total of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leg seams. 2 on the outside. Well, oh no, I suppose 8, huh? 2 on the sides, 2 on the inners, 2 in the front, and then 2 on the semi-side back. I must think about where to put the, I suppose, grommets. Put all of those on here. Well, I suppose I would also bring that silhouette back down. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I suppose it would have to be like its own separate waistband, and then the oh heavens, what do you call them? The darts. The darts would follow. So these would be more of like pleated, since they wouldn't have a point at the end, and then they just follow more. Let me draw that really quick, just for reference for myself. I do a lot of this where I try to draw the pattern as I'm going, especially if it's something that brings up questions. There we go. So it would be something like this in this back panel here. So this part would totally fold in on itself, and then this part would be a dart in the continuation up there. That sounds right. All right. So let's just have a ghosting of the other straps. Maybe I shan't actually pin them to this. Well, no, I take that back. I don't want to have loose of the straps here flopping. Or do I? Oh, it's so tough because on arming belts, well, not arming belts, but then, you know, the waist belts that hold your sword, the straps are loose. So, because I don't want it too fixed to my legs, because that would be uncomfortable. Okay, I think I'd have to have them free-flowing. Let me... You get to see the gears turning in my head as I process these, but yeah. So I think that's about it for basic construction, and now it's to add the fun bits, which are the Tripps. I don't know if they're called that. I'm just going to go with it because it sounds right. Your tripping hazard pants. But yeah, I think the setup is quite good actually, because I'm not hanging out here in the in the viewfinder, and then I can also see I have it at the right height where I can kind of glance back and make sure it's still recording. So unbeknownst to me, I don't just halt production straight away in the middle of things. Now I do want to entertain the crisscross, because I do quite like the crisscross that Tripp pants have. But I also want them to be detachable should they need be, you know, just in case one has to run from wizards and you need your full mobility, or vampire hunters or the like, Damic princes, you know, that sort of thing. I'm also going to be doing a series where I design the clothing of the different realms of my book, because it needs what is the word? Exposure. You guys need to hear about the realms and all these things that I've been working on, and I can't wait to show you all. So I thought I would do a intro through their fashion for the different realms, and do like different types of garments for every occasion. So I'd do a sleepwear, and then a casual wear, and then a formal wear for each of the different realms. And there's a handful of them, so it should be quite adventurous. I'm most excited to show you Dame and Vita's those realms' attires, because, well, they're the main ones, but they're also most close to my heart. I was trying to think of what would be good placements, so I think we'd start with a couple here. Oh my goodness, this looks like an owl. Look at the way that it comes down here. It looks like a little wee owl. Oh, I love that. Okay, I must keep it in now. Oh. There's no getting rid of that now. We must put an owl on the butt too, because obviously. Alright, so we'd have rings there. I do quite like this Gurkha detail. I even think, let me put another little wee mark here. I think I would like to end this in brass. I think I will do a mixture of black and brass for the findings. Yes. Alright. Oh, these are lovely. Alright, I'm very excited about these now. These will be definitely quite fun. Let's not use blue. Let's use... No, I think I'll go with pink, because it's a little bit different than the red. I don't know what I'm doing with my colors right now. Obviously, these are, well, I don't know if it's obvious, but these will not be the final colors of the things that I make, more so just so I can differentiate what's what when I do end up going to make these. Alright, so we've got some long dangly bits off of the front, and, wait for it, guess what we're gonna put on the end of said dangly bits? Tassels! We're gonna put some tassels on there, because I cannot be bothered with outfits that do not contain them. It is a plague on my existence to have outfits without tassels. Alright, so then we would have, it would loop back here. It looks like our poor wee owl is crying his eyes out. Oh, the poor fellow. Alright. Actually, you know, if we keep the tassels up there for the most part, we don't have to worry too much about tripping on them, although we do have to make them nice and wide so that when we sit, our buttocks are not squished into the ether. So oh my god, 8th grade me would be all over these. You have no idea. Alright. We could do butt tassels too, but that's a little much. Well, it's not, but it would not be good for every day. It would be a little heavy for me. But what I'm thinking, and bear with me on this, what I am thinking, the thought that has just occurred to me, we could do other installments of rings around said pants, maybe perchance down the sides. On each side. It would be against me to make these asymmetrical, I think. Too much so anyway. One, because it would make my life so difficult to make these, because then I'd have to I'd have to do asymmetrical patterning. And I do that on occasion, but today is not the day. So but then we could put attachable tassels here. Yes. Oh yes, I quite like that. Okay. Oh, these are so ridiculous. Oh my gosh. These will be so much fun to make. I've never made anything quite so... but just... I suppose ridiculous is the word I'm looking for. They're like... Oh gosh, these are so goofy. Yes. And perhaps even these would have little wee bits of extra tassels. Oh my god, yes. Oh, these are so ridiculous. I love them. And so I suppose if we wanted to add tassels to the back, then it would be up here. Oh, that'd be so cute, and they'd kind of like sashay while you walk. Oh, by the divines. Alright. Yes. These are quite fun. Alright, well, I think that about wraps it up. I want to put more on here, but I don't want to overdo it. Yeah, I think I'd keep most of the details above the knees, because then I can accessorize with my boots. My boots come probably about up to mid-calf level. So that way we have a nice bit of breathing room here, and it's not all over the place. Oh, these would look so cool with like a cloak, and then you shed your cloak, and then the tassels are just numerous. Anyway, well, I suppose that about wraps it up. Thank you for coming and spending an afternoon with me, and I would love to see you again soon. Let me say goodbye to you properly. This is good enough. My lighting has also died. My candles have gone out. But anyway, I wanted to thank you for coming out to visit, and I hope you had a wonderful time, and it would be great to see you again. and hopefully we can go for a fabric adventure, maybe come spring. I suppose it's starting to be spring, but later, as I do have a bit of a budget on my garments, so perchance when I find something good in the thrift store, we shall try to actually make these villas, and I would just be so enamored. If you did some drawing along with me during this, I would love to see what you've worked on, and I hope you just have the most fantastic, fabulous rest of your day. Stay cozy, stay warm, and just nurture your spirits however you can.